wanted to go over, our list of attendees, our speakers, our storytellers, and just say thank you. And if anyone, missed any of them, if you want to Google who they are, or actually just get some information, you can look at all of our speakers on the alignment.life website. So in our first, actually, let me just back up a little bit. We started off with story time, and we had the blessed experience of having not one, not two, but three amazing people that personified alignment in their life. We had Miss Shanicia Ewing talk about her journey. We had Miss Lisa Lickers, and we also had Miss Sheena Lansana. All of those 30-minute sessions are them just sharing their lived experience of what it means to be aligned. So those are how we started off the series. And then we jumped into our week one, and we started with alignment of your mindset. We had Dr. Amber Sessoms and Dr. Shakoya Sherrill, which are amazing unicorn Black women therapists or mental health experts. They blessed us with some gems, and we'll go over some of their clips. But then in week two, we had alignment of your body, and we had Harry King. I'm going to give everybody doctor titles today, and that's what I'm doing. We had Harry King, we had Dr. Rocks, and we had Dr. Andrea Stern. And they got us all together. I think that was a very impactful show, because that gave me a lot of information in spaces where I tend to not actually think so deeply in terms of alignment. So they gave us our body topics and helpful gems. And then we went on to alignment of your heart and soul. That was our last week's session, where we had Instagram sensation Taylor Chandler. She talked about our attachment styles. We had Jamar Johnson and Elizabeth Scales. They also came to us with the personification of alignment, and they gave us their lived experience of what it means to be in alignment with not only ourselves, but with others. And so I just wanted to thank everyone that joined us on our panels and our series, and shared information and poured into us, because we don't take it lightly that they took time in out of their schedule to pour into this project. And like I said, it's, everyone did it on a volunteer basis, and they were just as excited, if not more excited than we were, to be a part of it. So I want to say thank you to all of them.
And I want to give a quick shout out to Tiffany Brown, who is the president of NCBW. When we were looking for some additional panelists, she shared a few names with me, and it worked out beautifully. So sometimes I definitely want to give a shout out to her. She's probably gonna be like, "Well, you didn't have to do that." She's definitely one of the type of folks that like, I'm good. I don't need all that highlight and spotlight stuff. But I believe whenever you're working on things and people that are behind the scenes or contributed in some way, definitely need a shout out. One more other shout out I want to give. I want to give another shout out to Rashonda Lloyd with Desirable Destinations, who grabbed her shirt and did a video on what alignment is the assignment mean to her. So I definitely want to give that shout out, because once again, like you said earlier, Tami, our whole goal is just making sure our whole goal is just making sure that, we get this message out, and all of us could do a part just by sharing. You'd be amazed the power of online social media, sharing it with your network. Most of us have minimally 1,000 people in our network. You share it and somebody might see it. Even if it was one person, that's one thing Nisi Ewing said. She said, listen, if y'all only, this is behind the scenes stuff. She said, listen, if y'all only touch one person, y'all did your job, period. And that was like, okay, all right. So all of us, we can make a difference. Just help one, right? All right, Tam, anything else you want to say before we head on over to the first highlight?
She made me spit out my gum, y'all. No, I don't want to say
that was
anything.
A private message, ma'am. I was trying to save you from yourself.
No, I just felt like I was in high school, or no chewing in the classroom. So but thank you for that. No, and I want to shout out to you. I want to say thank you for you joining me on this journey and being on this together. I think this was a joint effort. It was never going to be my idea or your idea. I think we could not have done this without doing it with each other. So I want to say thank you. And I threw out my gum. All right.
I agree. Virtual high five. This is the cornball in me, y'all. Virtual high five. All right, here we go.
I just want this to be an example of connectedness amongst women of color. Let's just continue this. Let's just continue to talk to each other.
Right. Stephanie said she saw.
She did. She got me. She was like, she said, spit out your gum. It
was supposed to be a private direct message, but she wanted to tell everybody. I said, spit your gum out. See,
because I felt some type of way. I'm learning to voice my feelings. So, okay.
All right, let's get on with it.
Okay, bye, y'all.
All right,
let's jump into our clips.
I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick screen share. So what we're gonna do really quickly, I'm gonna share a screen. We're gonna do one highlight. If anything resonated, drop it in the chat so we can read it off, okay? So first off, May 14th, this was just so on point. May 14th, we did a storytelling with Shanicia Ewing, owner, author of Uncovering the New You. Let me go ahead and cue it up. And let's get
all
on
that beautiful bean footage. Sorry, y'all.
All right, let's make sure the sound is on.
Hey, Nisi.
But aligning in the assignment is really walking in the word. Like for me, I'm a Christian woman, so I walk in the word of God and I follow his word and I follow that. That was my assignment, was to follow anything that he put on my heart. He said, follow me. And that's what he does. And that's what I did. Because when he put fitness on my heart, that wasn't where I wanted to be. Nothing that I did, but fitness saved my life. That was the first alignment, me getting in order, ordering my steps to where I needed to go. The next thing on fitness was you're serving women. They don't look like you because many of the women have not been through the challenges I have. That was another assignment. I needed to talk to the women, the younger women of me, the lack of confidence, reestablishing themselves, finding balance, because God knew that I was going to be out of balance because I didn't know how to balance being a wife, being a mom, being a business owner, being an author, being in the military. I didn't know that. So once again, he shifted me and ordered my steps to align me in the assignment of what he has called me to do.
But on boom, and just like that, you notice. Let me know was there anything that resonated with you in that clip? One of the things I want to share really quick. You ever notice the things we are supposed to do are the things that we're most uncomfortable with?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is it just me? Do anybody ever feel like that? You be like, I know I'm supposed to do it, but I'm really uncomfortable, right? Like she said that, fitness was not her thing, but she knew she was supposed to move women, right? So she combined motivation with fitness. And let me tell y'all, if y'all have not seen that whole recap, that whole story time, definitely while you're cleaning, driving, go listen to it. It was, when you talk about alignment, it was so aligned. Like her whole thing was all about what some of her quote unquote failures. It's not a failure because hindsight.
They were fell forwards.
It fell forwards, right? Was part of her motherhood journey, and we did this on Mother's Day. It was crazy. But listen,
she had us wiping our eyes.
Speak for yourself. I wasn't crying. My eyes were sweating.
Yeah, you was. It was good.
But it definitely was good, y'all. It definitely was really good. I'm gonna make sure I drop her link. So she does have a book. I'm gonna get it. I don't know if anybody into book clubs or like reading together. So if you get it, make sure you hit me up and we could chat about it. She does have a book called Uncovering the New You. It is a memoir. And after learning her journey, I was like, I'm going to get the book because I'm not big on reading about other people's life stories, to be very honest. But and understanding like the stories, the nuggets in her story, I said, you know what, I'm going to grab this book. And kudos, because when we did it, she was like 2 weeks out from bodybuilding. She's a bodybuilder, y'all. She's in the military. Like her titles is crazy. Like, and she's, you know what I mean? And still so humble. So, all right. So, anything you want to add before we head on over to the next clip?
No, not for me. Anyone in the audience?
Anyone?
To our next one.
All right. Nothing. All right, y'all. My Zoom folks, y'all, drop whatever in the chat, okay? All right, well, we're going to head on over. So another highlight, we had Miss Lisa Licker. She was one of our, and once again, one of our Storytime lived experience folks. So let me go ahead and cue that up for us and get that rocking and the rolling.
How has going through that season of rebirth and purpose and intention and healing, how has alignment impacted your life?
So it has definitely had a major impact on me. I truly believe that in order for us to be our best selves, and in order for us to really, walk in our purpose and what God has intended for us to be, we do have to be intentional about the alignment, right? We do have to make sure that we're in alignment with God for the assignment that He has for us, because there are people that's literally attached to your life. And if you are not in alignment, or you are not showing up as your best self, or you are, not in a place of where God has called you to be, somebody else's life is dependent on us being in position. And I don't know what point it was in my life that I understood that, but that was the turning point for me. When I understood that, is like Lisa, yeah, like, you're human. You can afford to have a bad day, but you can't afford to have multiple bad days. Like, you have young girls that are looking up to you. You can afford to, take a day off, but, you can afford to, even like grieve sometimes or things like that, but not stay in it, not allow depression, not allow those things to kind of hold you down and stay there, because there are literally people that are, their life is determined on you, being and where you need to be. And even when I think about, people who have poured into my life, and I go back and I think, like, man, God, like, what if they didn't answer the call? What if they weren't in alignment for the assignment that you had on their life? How would that have affected me? And so that's why I don't feel like it's an option for me to show up for these young ladies, or for my team, or for the things that I do. It's not, it's necessary, it's important, it's a must.
Heavy. She said it's not an option, it's necessary, it's a must.
Drop in the chat what hit y'all, if anything hit y'all. Listen. So really quick, if you don't know who Lisa Lickers is, Lisa Lickers, she's a phenomenal woman. Okay, human being. She's a phenomenal human being. She's actually the founder of Young Women's Empowerment Academy that's located in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, but they have multiple, I guess you could say branches. I know there's one in Buffalo, New York, there's one in Lynchburg, and I think she said they open up, other locations, but she's also, correct me, Tami, wasn't she like the first Black woman who is the something in New York Life, which is one of the branches in partner. Listen,
She's partner.
She's amazing. I worked with her on so many different things. But listen, there's a couple of things that she said that I'm going to speak, from my experience. And she said a couple of things that hit me. She said, life is dependent on me being in position. Then she said, I can't afford to have multiple bad days. And then the other thing that hit me, she said, what if they didn't answer the call, right? So what hit me personally is there was a time in life where, like, in my, I guess we're being transparent here, y'all. I actually had to move back home. Like, after I finished college, I moved back home, and I was new mom. I really felt like a failure. And I'm like, I know all of this stuff. I'm great. I could do this and that. And I remember I was like, no, I started to shrink myself because I wasn't where I wanted to be. You get what I'm saying? And I remember someone said, what if what you're supposed to do, you are allowing your insecurities, what you think is a failure, to stop you from showing up, but you showing up is doing a disservice for someone else that's waiting on you, despite if you felt like your failure. You get what I'm saying? So when she said, when she said my life is dependent on being in position, I think a lot of times, we as people, or overcritically people, being overcritical of our circumstances, we don't answer the call because we feel like it's supposed to look a certain way. So like she said so much in that. Did anybody else get anything from, her, that little recap? And I know Stephanie just said, I love hearing others' journey. It puts a better perspective or light of that person on how and who and what they are. Absolutely.
How,
Absolutely.
who, and what they are. Substance. Yes.
Substance. Did you want to add anything, Tami?
No, that was one of my favorite gems of the entire series. And it just lends to how we have to be mindful of how we show up. I mean, someone is dependent on you being who you were called to be. And that's not you can't take that lightly. So if nothing else, this is what the series is foundationally for. It's just being that person that you were called to be. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So we are going to head on over to our next one. So our next highlight was, once again, it came from our story times, which had happened in May. Once again, if you're just joining us, I know we have some folks hanging with us on Facebook. Say hey. All right, so if you're just tuning in, this is the 4 of 4. Alignment is the Assignment Recap Series.
4.
Huh?
Sorry.
Focus, Tami. We are doing a recap, and we're going to be sharing some resources here momentarily, some practical tips. A lot of our panelists gave, but right now we're just going through some highlights, right? If you missed it, I mean, because I get it, you don't get on social media to watch hour-long sessions, but if you have the opportunity, if anything resonate with you, make sure you head on over to the Alignment is the Assignment Livestream Series Facebook page, and rewatch the Storytime series and some of the, the replays from this, alignment of your mindset, alignment of your body, and alignment of your heart and soul, which we just completed last week. But we're heading on over to our next highlight, okay? This is the next highlight. We have met with Sheena Lansana, who both Tami and I know her personally, and we had a good time, okay? She has so many gems that she dropped in her session. So many gems that she dropped in her session. But we're just going to share one because you can go and watch the replay, right? Okay, so let me go ahead and share. All right. We might have to cut some of these replays. We hitting on time, y'all. We
gotta get through. We gotta get through the
okay. So my folks that's here on Zoom, right? We at 8:15. We still got some time to go. Let us know if you're willing to hang. We'll get through the whole shebang if you're willing to hang. Shebang? Oh, okay. All right, so I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna look out for y'all's comments, but I'm gonna go ahead and share so we can watch this next clip. All right. Mrs. Sheena Lansana.
So what has it been like to be on this path? What are the challenges that you face in this path? What has enlightened you during this time?
Well, I guess me personally, I have a crazy temper. Like, my temper is ridiculous. So I had to learn how to curve that and not always be so reactive, and what I've learned is that my salvation wasn't just for me, it was for other people to save me from. And I realized that was, and that's a serious thing.
That is so serious.
Oh my gosh, because it was like, okay, well, they said this, you can't pull up and be ready on site. You can't do that. You gotta figure out a new way.
So just some context. So Sheena talked about her self-development journey in her alignment and how she went from, how she's going through phases of life and what it's taught her and how she had to, and how she's grown through them. And so I found that clip to be so real on so many levels, because we can't just always react how we want to. We have to think, especially when we're in alignment, right? Now, if we're out of alignment and we're all over the place, that's how people behave. But once you come into an alignment, you know whose you are and who you are and whose you are, you can't just act any kind of way. But do those urges come up? Yes. Yeah. And when she said, I realized my salvation was for others, not only just me, I don't know about y'all.
That was hilarious.
I've been saved all your life. And maybe y'all acted right all y'all lives, but that resonated with me. I said, honey, if nothing else, I feel you, I felt you, I get it, I got it.
That was hilarious. That was hilarious. That actually caught me off guard. And I was like, never thought about it that way.
You said me getting in this space was for other people as well. Okay.
Yes.
If you know, okay.
So once again, if you didn't get a chance to check out that story time, I believe that one had happened on, I'm not going to give the date because I'm going to botch it up, but just head on over to the Alignment is the Assignment Livestream Series Facebook page and find Sheena's replay. I promise you, you're going to get some gems from it. All right. So, all right. Okay. Oh, so Stephanie, Steph said, keep going, keep running through it. So we'll keep going through it. She said, I love you. She said she loved our chemistry. Folks hanging on Facebook. We see y'all. Hey, keep hanging.
My baby's watching. I'm told my baby son is watching.
Oh.
All right. All right. What we got next?
Who we got next? All right. Ooh. So the next one we have. Oh no, I skipped. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Next week. Okay. So the next highlight we have is Jamar Johnson. Actually, that was just from last week. We would love to have done one from all of them, but this will be very long.
Hey, Jamar sang a jingle for us. You got to go watch this episode to listen to the jingle he sang.
I was trying to put it on the slide. If I got enough time, you do a little bit of talking, I might be able to end us with Jamar's voice. If you do a little bit of talking at the end, I might be able to pull it up. He gonna kill me, but Mar, I know you watching.
All right. That's all right.
We about to rip that audio and make that the whole. Okay, we got signed papers.
We had fun with Jamar. What Jamar
sign some papers? All right.
What Jamar?
All right. So let me go ahead and get Jamar's clip. Here we go.
Get derailed and think that's the end. But can I tell people get derailed and think that's the end? But can I tell somebody, just because you have shifted and derailed off of a certain situation does not mean you can't get back realigned. It's almost like you ever see those trains where, the tracks get the shifting and you go another way and you should have been going this way. Well, eventually it's going to come back on and you're going to get back to the path that God has designed you to get. But the thing about it is you're going to have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. And that's what I had to realize, is that I had to put in the work. Faith without works is dead.
He said that work.
And we're going to end it like that, right? All right, folks in the chat, anything that he said resonates? Let me tell you something. When anybody says, can I tell somebody? They about to get into it. He said, can I tell somebody? He's
saying,
about to
listen.
get in.
That's what he's saying. He said, listen up. Listen here.
Shantae said, yes,
at some point, y'all gotta go watch that series. At some point, I just gave Jamar the show. I stopped. Jamar took the mic and he had that show and it was on fire. So go catch that replay, y'all.
Yeah, that was definitely good. We talked offline, like we like how whoever tuned in last week, let us know, did you like that format? Like we actually had a teaching moment from Taylor, who literally just gave you the educational part, right? And then we had Elizabeth Scales and Jamar Johnson that they took it away. Like so many people was like, wow, like really gave that wow factor. Let us know if you like that. So Shantae said, don't, I cannot read. Help me out, Tami. Hold on. Don't let
you want me to read? Mm-hmm. She said, don't let you now. No, Shantae messing with us. She said, don't let your now dictate your later.
Thank you.
We got this. Thank you, Shantae. Don't let your now dictate your later.
Yeah. I like the whole thing that he was just talking about, like being derailed, because I think sometimes, I was just telling my baby sister this, sometimes like when we set goals and we think we know where we want to go, even we say we want to go, my fiance says one of the things, he always said, like, how you going to have stipulations on a place and how to get there if you ain't never been there? Like, how you gonna say it's supposed to look a certain way and you ain't never been there? You get what I'm saying? So you have to.
I was like, we never. Yeah.
So
that's hard. That's putting pressure where pressure already is.
Right.
put
Like
stipulations.
you gotta have some type of flexibility.
Flexibility.
And I love how, and it's so crazy, Jamar. So I just had a conversation with Lee earlier, and I literally used your whole snippet. I said his example. I said, sis, sometimes it might look like you know where you're going, but like he said, like a train that gets through. I use the same thing, and she was like, "Oh, let me tell you how all it is. It's the gift that keeps on giving." Okay.
That's you.
All right. So Shantae said, yes, that's good. We're gonna keep rocking and rolling because we got more to share. So we're gonna go ahead. Anything you want to say, Tami, or you give me the green light to cue up the next?
Give you the green light. Oh, sorry.
Talk about the playlist, right?
Oh, yo, we got a playlist. Oh man, hold on. That's later. But no, I think we're good. Do we have any more clips?
Yeah, we do. We got, I think Elizabeth's last video clip. So just let me go ahead and get this up and going.
All right, let's get it.
To me, but also then having to ask myself, why do I believe that I don't belong in this room, on this platform? What is it? Self-awareness. What is it going on? Because you're gonna have to do the work. You can't just if you let the thought fester, you're never gonna get anywhere. You're just gonna go in circles. I don't have what it takes. I'm not enough. I don't have a degree. I don't have enough knowledge. I don't have, right? But it was something also that I posted a while ago on LinkedIn that also helped click for me with that. You know the adage where people would say, if they don't give you a seat at the table, you pull a chair up? All right, that's not good. That's not good enough for me anymore. So the quote says, when you operate in your gift, you don't have to be at the head of the table. For wherever you sit or stand, the table and room will shift for you.
Hey, we just all going. It's
that shift, y'all.
Shift.
Shift.
Listen, if y'all was here last week, we was like, hold on. I should have played that part because we always like, hold on, stop. You gotta say that again. What do you mean? Like, if you walk in your purpose, and if you did not hear her story, you'll understand why this resonates so much. Like, and I'm not going to tell it because you need to go back and watch it. So go to Alignment is the Assignment, Facebook Livestream Series, Facebook page, and watch it. But yes, the whole shift that hit, didn't hit anybody else. I mean, to say yes. Okay. Like, it was just
to be at the head of the table. You don't have to be that person that knows it all or shows it all, right? Wherever you're at, your gifts will shift. Your gifts will make the shift, right? I know I didn't put it the way.
Yeah. But you know, and it's so crazy because even
you are enough, how you are as you are.
I think they all really kind of bounced off each other because they, through all the series, they all were talking about being authentic, right? Like Dr. Amber Sessoms from the Alignment is the Mindset, you know, she was talking about like being in tune with the core of who you are and being okay with that. And the whole underlying like message through all the series was like, get in tune with who you are, so then you can walk in your purpose, and you walk with such boldness, such authority. You get what I'm saying? And just imagine, like, I think you said it last week, is Liz said she's going, Stella, what you were saying, ain't no fronting. What was that phrase you said?
Ain't no future in your fronting.
Ain't no future in your front end. And I think like Liz said, like so many times, you know, they make it seem like, okay, you need to front, you need to be something that you're not in order to get to where you are. But I think there's so many like change makers now that's speaking out and saying, no, we need to normalize the idea of be who you want to become. Tami, share one thing you had, you told me, behind the scenes, you know, during this whole journey. It was something along the lines of just, you were telling me something about just be, not saying I want to be, just be. What was that thing? What was something you shared with me?
Be, do, become.
Yeah. She was like, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What you took from it? What did you take from it?
So be, do, become. I think a lot of times, and it's Shantae, this go back into like, you know, the imposter syndrome, right? A lot of times, I think so many times we think outside of ourselves, like I aspire to be. I want to be that person. And, so we think it's like far off, right? So Tami said to me, be, do, become. And it was such an alignment with, like I said to all of you all, like I'm always on the self-development journey. And one of the things that outside of working on self-discipline for myself is also for me personally is realizing I am who I always said I wanted to be. Like my mom, love her. My mom said to me a couple weeks ago, I decided to go to a breakfast with her to her church. And I was like, Mom, I always wanted to be this type of person, for my children. I want them to put them, I moved to this area because I want them to be around a certain type of people. She said, but you are. And that just hit me. Because I think a lot of times we want to be something and we think it's so far off. But what if we changed our mindset and be like, just do. Like, not I'm gonna try, just do. Like, what's the difference of becoming and doing? Like, you become by doing, right?
You do. You have to do it. You have to do, right? You have
So,
to do
and just to bring that full circle to what we just shared with the clip is just, I think like when we start to embrace that, it's like, when you walk into a room, you walk with authority to where people start to become attracted to you, right? Like, what is it about that person?
Like you belong there.
Exactly. So anyway, off my little soapbox, but Stephanie said, ain't no fronting in your front end. Woo, ain't no fronting in your front end. You better say it, Hallmark Queen.
Hallmark.
Hallmark Queen.
That's cute.
Yes. All right. So anything else, ladies? If that you want to drop in the chat, let us know. We are rounding to the end. The very last things we're going to share are some of the practical tips that some of our panelists shared. Tam, I'm gonna share the screen. Did you want to read it off? And I'll just add the 2 cents, or you want me to go ahead and handle this? I can handle it. Because you're going to bring it home for us, right?
All right, go ahead. You got it. Go.
All right. Sorry to be all over the place. My bad.
All right.
All right. Y'all still hanging with me? Drop in the chat. Say we here. Let us know. We here. Come on and say we. Oh, Rel's there.
Okay, Rel. What if she got her colors on too?
I know, right? All right, Shantae. Shantae said we here.
Hey, who in here has a shirt? If you don't have a shirt, why don't you have a shirt? Do you know what our shirts are? Why we're selling shirts? If you don't know, I'll share. So really quick, while you're queuing up our clips or side things. So we are selling Alignment is the Assignment shirt. You have our wonderful black shirts and our wonderful white shirts. Portion of the proceeds go to support an affordable Beehive affordable housing outreach, and also to campaign for a cause. And I can't say it how she says it, but it goes to support marketing efforts, right? For underfunded entrepreneur
nonprofit organizations.
There you go. That's what she just said, y'all. So if you haven't already, go ahead over to the alignment.life to support that, but more of that in a second. You need anything? God create. Oh, come on.
I'm sorry.
Take your time.
I'm talking. I was talking. I was on mute.
mute.
But I want to say once again, shout out to the folks. And I see y'all hanging on Facebook. Tami, thanks for holding it down. I see you over there handling that chat, doing that techie stuff. Go, girl.
Look at me. Look at you. Amina said, God created us in his image. God is in us, and we walk in the room. All heads should turn, command attention. We shouldn't have to demand it. Nah, if you're in alignment, you will command it, right?
What? Is that a shirt? I shouldn't have to demand it. I'm in alignment. I command it. Who about to make that rap? It's like I'm sorry, y'all. This is naturally me. I'm not, there's nothing in me.
We're just so happy. The giddiness is that we actually, you don't understand. We did not know how this was going to go. We did not know how it was going to be received. We did not know how we were going to pull it off at all. Each and every week, we racked our brains to make sure that things came into alignment, and that we presented good information, practical advice, and helpful tips. And just to be at the other side of it and saying we've done it, it's been about 8 months.
It feels good.
See, now we shaking.
Yeah. Who coming in? Come on, Amina. It feels good. Oh, okay. Y'all going
I'm just
down
gonna
like
dance.
y'all. That's gonna leave me hanging. If Mar was here, if Jamar was here. All right, y'all. All right. Let me respect y'all time. Come on. All right. So
That was the 8:30 alarm.
that was an 8:30 alarm. All right, let's go ahead and get to this. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead. There was a lot of our panelists shared a lot of great practical tips. And we want to go ahead and remind you all of this. So our first series was alignment of the mindset. All right. And that's where we had Dr. Amber Sessoms, then we had Sequoia Sherrill. They held it down. Their chemistry, and they don't know each other. Their chemistry and authenticity just exuded all through that particular session. But the question was, how to be more, or how can one be more present in their daily lives? And Dr. Amber Sessom, she pretty much touched on being very in tune with your body. One of the things that you can do with being in tune with your body, but also understanding the connection that our physical self has in relation to nature. She talked about sometimes just going outside and grounding yourself. If you're not familiar with grounding, just being, taking off your shoes and walking into the grass and, just being in tune with nature. So she mentioned that, that was really one way that can help you to be in tune with your daily life. And she also said, gas yourself up, focus on your strengths. And Shantae, you mentioned this earlier in our prior chat before we all got on. You said sometimes, like, when people ask you what your strengths are and what makes you happy, a lot of times, a lot of us, we can't answer that, right? And she said, the world is always telling us, what we're not good at, and we need to learn how to be more in tune with ourselves and our bodies and our strengths so we can gas ourselves up, right? Now, she did give, I'm going to drop it in the chat here. Tami, if you have the ability to drop it in the chat on Facebook, that would be great. So one of the things she did encourage all of us to do is head on over to it's called the VIA character assessment. I actually did it and it was very enlightening. But that was one resource that she provided where it helps you to identify what some of your strengths are. And it also identifies like some areas that you're not so strong at. And she was like, that's a great starting point with identifying, for sure what you're strong at, and then help you to identify what are areas, some other areas you can, begin to work on. Another resource I'm going to drop in the chat is she mentioned that, when it comes to getting, help with, mental health assistance, a lot of Black and brown people really don't know who to go to. And because sometimes it's hard to find people that are culturally aware and culturally sensitive. And she mentioned that sometimes she sent a lot of people over to inclusivetherapist.com. So when she said that, I figured I'd go ahead and share that, because if you find yourself in a space, in a place where maybe you can't find who you're looking for in your local area, that could be a resource if you are looking for a counselor or anything like that. And then Sequoia, her take on how to be more in tune with, your daily life. She mentioned, and we talked about this earlier today, is in the morning, establish a routine as soon as you wake up. She said, start your mornings off looking within. She mentioned too many times we go straight to our phones, check our emails, we check social media. And she said something that was so pivotal. She said, stop going to the world seek validation, seek external validation, check with yourself first. And that hit a couple of us. We kind of talked about that earlier. But she also mentioned that being more involved in social spaces can help you to live more in the now and take some time away from social media. She mentioned that sometimes we don't understand the impact that social media actually has on our mental health. She said, listen, if it's not really for the betterment of your life, feel free to take time away from social media. And most importantly, do not compare yourself to others. And any of that, for the folks that's hanging with us, as we go through these practical tips, I want you to kind of think about what's one thing that resonates with you the most that you are going to commit to yourself. You say, you know what, I'm going to take that and I'm going to carry that and I'm going to implement that, because I want y'all to drop that in the chat. All right. Heading on over to our second series was alignment of your body. And that's where we had Harry King, Dr. Andrea Stern, and Dr. Rox. And they really got us all straight. Like I said earlier, I know I got some work to do. But the question for them, the practical tip was, how to start your physical regimen. And so Harry King had mentioned, So Harry King pretty much mentioned how it's important to really find programs that are accessible and affordable. He said a lot of times when people are starting their regimen, pretty much they might start and stop for financial reasons. So, if you want to start a regimen and stay consistent, find something that pretty much that is affordable. So if you are in the Harrisburg or pretty much the central PA area, be sure to check out Kingdom Fit, and that is his location, because one of the things that he said that they had just started doing, they started offering something called One Pass, which is an insurance-based. I'm gonna drop this in the chat and help me out, Tami, to share it with the folks on Facebook if you are able to. He said that Kingdom Fit offers One Pass, which is an insurance-based membership to the gym for low-income families or those who receive Medicaid. But also, they actually have, now this is for youth, so this could work if you have children. He said they have on Tuesday nights, they have free youth night for youth that are ages 6 to 12. So be sure to check that out. Once again, he is located in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. But for those of you that are tuning in, that you're not in Pennsylvania, you can still take this and maybe find some different locations, some different fitness centers that might be more accessible and affordable that meets your spending plan, your budget. All right. The other thing he mentioned on how to, with your physical regimen, you want to make sure you love on yourself. He said, put nutritional foods in your body. Make sure you safely exercise. But one of the quotes that he said, you can't hate your body and expect to get healthy at the same time. So that was his practical tip. And then we had Dr. Andrea Stern. She mentioned she said the very first thing you want to do is make an appointment to get your physical done. She also said to check out why you may not be motivated to exercise. Sometimes your motivation could be connected to maybe some physical things that's going on, like your thyroid or your blood count. That was very insightful for me. I don't know if it was for you guys. But the other thing she said is to understand how confident you are in achieving your health goals. So that was her practical tips that she wanted to share with you all on how to start your physical regimen. And last but certainly not least, Dr. Roch, she said you definitely want to understand what your goals are and if your goals are practical. She encouraged us to use our food as our medicine. And she also mentioned to build habits that are necessary to make the changes sustainable. Okay, now I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't feel like I did justice. We did justice really for the practical tips that that they shared so much. So if you did not see, if you know health is an area that you need to improve, you definitely want to go ahead and check out Alignment of Your Body. I believe we did that on June 14th. So head on over to the Facebook page while you're driving, before you go to sleep, whenever you got some downtime, you're doing some things that don't require your mental, being in tune to whatever you're currently doing. Just go ahead and listen to the replay. It was really a lot of great insight onto that one. All right. Coming around the corner. All right. So the next one was our last week's series. Listen, All right. So listen, alignment of the heart and soul. Yeah, you definitely got to check that out. It was deep. Like it was a vibe. Okay. So the question there was how to build a stronger relationship with yourself and others. So we had Taylor Chandler. She pretty much said, be curious, explore how you relate to others and what are the patterns of your relationships. All right. She also said, be sure to track your emotions and communicate what you're feeling. And one of the things she encourages everybody she comes in contact with is to begin a journal at the end of your day. And she also mentioned make sure when you're journaling, indicate times when you feel like you're shrinking and also when you're lashing out, because that also helps you to be very in tune with your emotions and how you're dealing with the different relationships. Then we had Jamar Johnson, who he pretty much said, be authentically you. First, you have to confidently believe in yourself. He also mentioned that this was his big one, right? He said, deal with the issues on your own before you begin trying to help others. He said, sometimes you will do more harming than helping. Okay. Sometimes you do more harming than helping if you try to help others before you done help yourself. Then we had Elizabeth Scales, her take on how to build a stronger relationship with yourself and others. She said, do the work. Now, honestly, that was all throughout that particular session. They all said you got to do the work. Okay. But she said, do the work, start asking the questions, build healthy relationships, whether that be professionally, having networking buddies. And then she also said, make peace with relationships that are hindering you. And then also she said, be self-aware so you can identify self-sabotaging thoughts. Okay. The self-awareness piece was also another, another indicator of like, they all kind of said that. Taylor, Jamar, and Elizabeth all said the way how you build stronger relationships with yourself and others, you have to be self-aware. If you didn't catch them, make sure you head on over to the Assignment Livestream Series Facebook page. It was only last week, so you don't have to scroll too much. Go ahead and watch that replay, okay? For the folks in my chat, was there anything that resonated with you the most? We are about to wrap up probably the next about 5 minutes or so. Go ahead, Tam.
Just real quick. So alignment of the heart and soul was very deep and resonating for me. But what I think was most impactful was that we talked about how relationships can harm, help, or hinder. So more specifically, Elizabeth talked about some of the relationships that were meant to harm her or that she perceived were harmful actually worked for her betterment. And so I don't know if anyone has been through, whether it's parental, romantic, a career relationship that went bad, you got to go back and watch how Liz turned it around for her good. You just got to go watch how it happens, because sometimes we can be in that space of woe is me and think that relationship happened to me and not for me, or that circumstance happened to me and not for me. And she's a prime example of how things work for us. So I really, really, really enjoyed, all of our series are special, right? But this was a very unique setting to be in. So Stephanie said each panelist aligned with each other. Yes, this was a great series. Thank you, ladies. Awesome. This is going to be and already is a big wake-up call for all. That's our prayer. That's our goal. That was our assignment. That was our assignment. But as we all know, we have to ace the assignment, right? So what we did was try to break it down in practical bite-sized pieces. And Rochelle, are you ready for me to go to the call to action?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay. So what we tried to do was put it in into practical pieces that will help us, have that wake up call. So let's just say with all of that information that we can't just sit on the information that we just that we received and we were fed and that was provided. We now have to do something about it, right? So who's ready to do something about the information? or with the information. So what we're asking, our charge to you, you know, we don't want any payment. We don't want any accolades. We don't want any recognition. We just simply want to continue this journey with you. So our first call to action would be to share your feedback, right? So we want to know, and we, you know, started at the beginning of this call off camera. We wanted to know, you know, how you felt about it, what your thoughts were. But if you can, we're gonna, those that register and those that are on Facebook that weren't in the Zoom room, we're actually gonna send you out a link. It's gonna be on our website. If you register, you'll probably get a notification or a text that's going to have a feedback link. But if you could kindly just provide your feedback so that we know what was helpful and maybe what wasn't, what we did well, or what we could do better. So like we said, this is not the end, but we also need your help in order to make this more impactful for the series to come. The other part of our thing would be to be engaged. So in order to be engaged, we're going to need you to share and what, Rochelle, what is it? Hold on, forgive me, my notes are cloudy. What did I say about being engaged? So we want you to participate, right? We want you to continue to share and review our series. Did you have something to add to that?
Tap the share button.
Yeah, we're going to want you to share.
Just share on your social media for other people. If you felt like you got something from this, that means I'm pretty sure somebody you know can also benefit from it. So tap that share button, share it to your stories, or share it, you know, on your social media page. That's what we ask.
Right. And so this is also going to those of you that have not been in the room when we share, but this will also be translated to well, let me wait for a second. And then our third part, a call to action. So we have sharing your experience, provide feedback. We have being engaged, sharing our lives, sharing the website for those that may need. You're going to, as you go through your journey, you're going to hear people and you're probably going to say, oh, they could benefit from this. Share the link with them, share the Facebook page. It will still live on. And if they have any questions, our contact information is on there. If they want to reach out to our panelists, that information is on there, but continue to share it. And then our third call to action would be a part of the impact. How can you be a part of the impact? You're going to actually help, like I said earlier, you're going to buy the t-shirt, right? So you're going to support the causes that are supported by the purchasing of the t-shirt. These shirts are very minimum cost, but the impact is huge. The impact is huge. So how do you become part of the impact is you buy this shirt. So you want to go to and run to the alignment.life and purchase your one and only Alignment is the Assignment t-shirt. And that's all that we ask in, you know, consideration of everything that we tried to pour into it, you know, and hope prayerfully we did a well enough job that someone's life will be changed forever. So any other final thoughts? You can't find the video. Oh, that's you.
It's called a direct message for a reason. God.
It did not come up as private. What video are we looking for?
Well, I was trying to find the video. I'm not going to put him on blast because he's in the room. I was trying to find Jamar's video so I could end us on him, know, with the jingle of Alignment.
Hey, Jamar, can you sing us out?
Don't do him like that again.
He said, I got you.
That was the ugly face.
I got y'all.
Oh, cousin. Okay, so but Jamar did say, he said this series really set the tone for the next season of our lives. And if we were out of alignment, each panelist gave us awesome tips and resources on how to realign our lives. It's only up from here. It's only up from here when we put in the work. Absolutely. Because come on screen. You coming on screen? Coming on camera?
No, I'm not coming on screen.
Okay, we pushing it.
So we're going to sign out for now, but it's not forever. Part of what I wanted to share also is that we're going to continue this movement in the realm of YouTube. So you'll be able to find all of our nice videos and conversations over there in the foreseeable future. And then also be tuned in to the website for upcoming events and chats that we'll have coming down the line. So on to you,
All right.
we
Well,
have to
we're gonna
say
end it
goodbye? I
with
don't wanna
Jamar.
say
I mean, I don't have
goodbye.
anything else to say. I'm
All
grateful
right, so-
for being a part of the journey. And yeah, come on, Jamar. Come
Here we
on.
go.
Here we go.
And it's going to be a little revamp, but here we go.
Cool.
Alignment is the assignment. I said that alignment is the assignment. When you put in the work, alignment is the assignment. So get to work, alignment is the assignment.
Where's my lighter? Hold on. Woo! Thank you for that.
Yes.
You're a real one. You always come through. And that was a blessing. And look, that was a whole bop. Okay. He's in here. He's in here. And so now we got 2 clips of you. Now we'll send over the permission slip.
He said, talk to my agent
Yeah,
for
talk to your
royalties.
agent. We got 2 clips now.
All right,
So
listen,
we want to thank everyone in
Amina,
the room for joining
Sin,
us.
Stephanie, Shantae, and Morel, thank y'all all for joining in, and everybody that
Facebook
hung
folks.
with us on Facebook, right? Appreciate y'all.
Bye for now, not for forever.
And always remember that alignment
Alignment
is the assignment.